William Wilberforce was born August 24, 1759. He was the son of a wealthy merchant family in Hull, England. At the young age of 9, his father died, leaving his mother, who was also ill at the time, to send him to his extended family in Wimbledon, England. Her hope was that he'd be raised in the environment of their elite social circle, which was of great importance during that time period. Even though William's aunt and uncle were part of a wealthy inner circle, they were considered as religious enthusiasts or Methodists. As he grew up, his aunt and uncle would have parlor preachers and other religious enthusiasts come to their house. One of those many preachers included John Newton. Newton is modernly known for writing the popular hymn Amazing Grace. The young boy came to know Newton very well and often thought of him as his father, while Newton thought of William as his son. His mother soon realized the religious seed planted in her son and took him away from his aunt and uncle. He stayed with her until he went to Cambridge. At Cambridge University, he met his best friend, William Pitt the Younger. Together, they became elected into the House of Commons. Pitt ascended to the premiership in 1783 at the young age of 24. Less than 6 months later, Wilberforce was elected as a member of Parliament for the county of Yorkshire, which is one of the most powerful and influential seats in the House of Commons, starting his career of immense leadership. At the age of 24, William Wilberforce had what we'd modernly call a midlife crisis. In 1784, William Wilberforce decided to take a long vacation traveling to the French and Italian Riviera. He took this vacation with his mother, who was ill again, and believed that the warm weather would help cure her illness. Needing another travel companion, Wilberforce bumped into Isaac Milner, an old-time acquaintance. Wanting to catch up, Milner accompanied Wilberforce on his voyage. Little did William know that the man he was now traveling around France with was a Methodist. Like everyone in his social circles, Wilberforce thought anyone who took God too seriously was crazy. Milner had various conversations about William's religious standing. By the time William returned to England, he was at a serious impasse. He knew that he could not re-enter his life, professing the things he had not come to believe. It is this time in his life William referred to as the Great Change. Wilberforce challenged his previous activities such as drinking, gambling, and belonging to gentlemen clubs. Wilberforce challenged himself and asked himself, where exactly could one draw the line? It was this question that took him to his friend, John Newton. Wilberforce hadn't seen Newton since he was 12. John was overjoyed to welcome his friend and to know that he had come back to his Christian faith. Wilberforce asked Newton how he should live his life and how to serve God while still being in politics. Newton made William realize that the gift God had given him in politics was special. William left Newton's vowing that he would take faith into the world of politics and serve God there with his gifts. At the same time, William had become interested in moral and cultural renewal in Great Britain. With the help of Thomas Clarkson, William wrote in his diary on October 28, 1787, God has set before me two great objects, the suppression of the slave trade and the work of moral reform. This is the great change that began with a 20-year struggle to help abolish slavery in the William soon became part of 69 different benevolent societies. He was the founder and contributor to the Christian Observer, which is the modern equivalent of Christianity today. He helped to found the Sierra Leone colony for freed slaves, the Royal Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, Hospitals for the Poor, Britain's Royal Institution dedicated to scientific research, and the National Gallery of Art. He was an active voice of educational reforms, prison reforms, and the promotion of public health, advocating for shorter workdays and improving working conditions. In 1787, Thomas Clarkson, an early advocate for the abolition of slavery, persuaded William Wilberforce to take up the abolitionist cause. Although Wilberforce was in complete sympathy with their aims, initially he was skeptical of his own abilities. However, after deliberation, he decided to take the campaign on. Wilberforce even stated, "If to be feelingly alive to the sufferings of my fellow creatures is to be a fanatic, I am one of the most incurable fanatics ever permitted to be at large." Following a successful campaigns by the Committee for the Abolition of the Slave Trade and raising awareness of the conditions of slaves, William Wilberforce was encouraged to try to pass a bill in the year of 1789. Although there was considerable support within Parliament, the anti-abolitionists were well organized, and they managed to outvote the bill 163 votes to 88. In 1789, Wilberforce spoke in the House of Commons, arguing that slavery was a matter of great injustice and contrary to the principles of human dignity. He spoke passionately on the subject. In William Wilberforce's book, Real Christianity, he warns of the social evils in England and how that would cause a society like the one in France during the 1790s. When the French declared war upon the British in 1793, the House of Commons believed that the abolition of the slave trade was considered seditious, therefore suppressing any notions about the abolition of the slave trade. However, in the early part of the 19th century, the climate once again became favorable, and following the death of William Pitt in 1806, Wilberforce tried once more. However, they first tried a clever trick by making it more illegal for slave trade owners to participate in trading slaves in the French colonies. It was a bill not aimed at making the slave trade illegal. It was just hoped to undermine their business, therefore weakening the position of ship owners. It was suggested by maritime lawyer James Stephen. The bill made it illegal for slave trade owners to help aid the French slave trade. It was passed effectively and ended 75% of the slave trade. In 1807, both the House of Lords and Commons finally passed the Slave Trade Act. Wilberforce was able to command an unexpected large margin of 283 votes to 16. This act only made illegal the trade of slaves. Many slaves in the British Empire were still not free. Therefore, in the remaining period of his life, William Wilberforce campaigned for the rights of slaves in Africa and other parts of the world. Just a few days before his death, William Wilberforce heard the news that on July 26, 1833, the Slavery Abolition Act was passed, outlawing slavery in most parts of the British Empire. William was notified of these 3 days before his death. India would be freed from slavery a decade later because of his lasting legacy. William's various attempts to the prevailing blocks of leader, one of which is perseverance. After his first bill for abolishing slavery in England was turned down, he didn't give up. Being able to accept the little victories like the Slave Trade Act, which didn't fully abolish slavery in England, he realized that people were starting to see the need for reform and joined his side. Being a powerful orator and educated man added a sense of reliability to his reforms and speeches he made. His ability to inspire people led one nation after another to abolish slavery. Among the many distinguished African Americans whose lives were influenced by William Wilberforce, the list includes William Wells Brown, Paul Cuff, and Frederick Douglass. Many of America's founding fathers were also influenced by William Wilberforce's works, such as John Quincy Adams, John Jay, Thomas Jefferson, Rufus King, the Marquis de Lafayette, and James Monroe. William Wilberforce's legacy lives on today with the modern world, with slavery existing in numbers greater than those during his lifetime. Why don't you be like him and take a stand? The William Wilberforce Award also shows his legacy still being alive today. The 2014 winner of the award was Canon Andrew White from Afghanistan. He demonstrated qualities such as William Wilberforce by stepping up and creating a change in the world. The William Wilberforce Award was created by Chuck Colson in 2007 and still goes on today. To learn more about modern slavery, go to notforsale.com, or to learn more about the William Wilberforce Award, go to williamwilberforceweekend.com. Thank you!